It's Catania Alvin speaking from London. It's early evening, so good evening or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Now, first of all, let me thank the most kind person that sent me a donation. I'm so appreciative, and I was actually saying to the universe, because I needed £30 extra, and a friend of mine asked me to do something for her Friday. So I nipped over and helped her, and she gave me £10. And then somebody donated £20. And there we are. The universe provided. I was thrilled, but it's a lovely story to tell. What goes round does come round. So I have got Christopher's story up. Now, I used to follow Christopher's story before he was murdered, and he used to put out regular updates, intelligence reports, and it's very interesting listening to him. I will put the link in the description box. This one is called The Perestroika Deception, which is the title of a book, but it is very interesting. Now, some of you will have been on my YouTube about the Committee 300, which was set up in 1891. If you look at the lines of connection, like they set up the United Nations, they set up the Council for Foreign Relations, they set up CIA, FBI, MI6, MI5, and the Fabian Society, I believe, and various other committees and organizations. The Club of Rome was set up. That was set up intentionally to destroy American industry. So Dr. John Coleman has done an amazing amount of work studying and looking into this and doing an immense amount of research in the British Museum, the most important research centre. So Christopher's story is talking about where the EU incentive came out of. Now, in previous or other videos, he talks about it further, but in this one, I'm just going to start it now because you'll start to see, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, or many of you have, the connections way, way back. So here we go.
Where they couldn't succeed to actually break in, they formed their own and replaced them, basically. And in Colombia, of course, through the...
He's talking about the drugs. It's quite low, so when I edit it, it's going to have to go up, and there'll be a bit of a background noise, probably.
The American Department of the Cuban Communist Party, they control what's going on in Colombia. No question.
So this organized criminalism, as an activity on the part of the KGB since 1961, is the Russian mafia and controls any business activity that we hear about as examples of alleged free enterprise breaking out in the new so-called New Russia and the satellite nations.
Now, this is very interesting. He was talking about Russia. But, it's a bit like Russian collusion. But the Committee 300, basically the One World Order, runs out of Charter House, according to Dr. John Coleman. And Britain, talking about Russia, it was Britain who was behind the assassination of Rasputin all those years ago. Rasputin was a great favourite of the Tsarina because he had saved her son by healing or curing him. So just like the start of the First World War, it was a British agent, obviously by the instructions of the British Intelligence Service, to murder the Archduke. And from that action came war. So Britain is, the British Intelligence Service is extremely good at doing things behind people's backs and then blaming them on other people. Okay.
That's almost entirely true. I mean, what we have in these countries is what Lenin called state capitalism, which I now have renamed state-controlled capitalism.
Yes.
Which means that it appears to the West as though these enterprises are entirely freestanding, and they've got shareholders, and they have managing directors, and they've even got in Moscow large office blocks like Gazprom, but they are in fact entirely controlled by the state, with the revolution. through the intelligence services.
Yeah, and that's a deception and a performance very similar to the performance of political democratism, where we see alleged rival parties and rival candidates taking part in elections in the so-called New Russia and the new satellite nations, when actually all of these parties are controlled by KGB personnel, and it is a performance for the American public to watch on CNN and through other parts of the media.
Yeah, well, just think about that also. It's very interesting. Really, when you go back and remember, the Committee 300 was set up, Cecil Rhodes, Lord Rothschild, Lord and Balfour, in 1891, and they had established quite a lot way before this. So this is why I say that the Brits are very good, or the British establishment is intelligence are very good at making it look as if it's somebody else who's doing it. You know, there's no different really in kind to the Russian collusion that they was traced right back to MI6, Dear Love and Christopher Steele, and that was all and paid for by Hillary Clinton, or partially, but it was not Russia that Donald Trump was involved in colluding with. It was actually Hillary Clinton who was colluding with some aspects of Russia, and then got Britain, or Britain offered to create this story to try and bring Trump down. That is what the intentions of the British Empire, aka the bankers, has been all about.
A major part of this strategy since 1961 has consisted of building slowly and installing a very dictatorial regional world government over all of Europe, on top of the existing socialist bureaucracies that are in the governments of each of these countries, over all of Europe, and now sadly also Britain, in the form of the European Union. And this constitutes an accomplishment of Leninist strategy, as predicted by Golitsyn. And of course, while the KGB had infiltrated all the European governments and the British government, as they had infiltrated the American CIA and other parts of the United States government, in addition to that, the current treaty arrangements between the European Union, based in Brussels, and the new Russia, mean that there's even further, tighter Soviet and KGB control over the foreign policy of this new globalist regional government that controls Russia, that controls Europe, and controls Britain.
And you see, I don't agree with this. I think when you listen to Dr. John Coleman talking about the Committee 300, and that was started up in 1891. So here's Dr. John Coleman talking about the American situation here of the Committee 300 and the Club of Rome, and what happened, what they did to America.
Called The Death of the United States Steel Industry. And in that I told of a French aristocrat by the name of Etienne Darignon.
Now, of course, this is pre-Trump. Now we're in Trump time.
And I'm sure there's not a single steel worker in America out of a job who's ever heard of this man's name. That they put this aristocrat onto the job of destroying first the steel industry. In my book in 1980, I said that by 1985 we would have silent blast furnaces. The rolling mills would be stopped. There would be no more shipbuilding. We'd have thousands of skilled workers who'd pass the skills of their trade down for generations, who were forever dispossessed of their jobs. If you go to the northeast United States today, ladies and gentlemen, and I've just been up in Cleveland where I had a very good radio address I gave there, you will find that what I said in 1980 has unhappily come to pass.
Now, why I wanted to bring this into the scene, so to speak, in today's YouTube, is because that is exactly what has happened to the European countries that actually joined this European Union. It was like drinking from the cup of Borgia. The cup of Borgia means the cup that is poisoned. And they were talking about what has come in and created the European Union. And I don't doubt that at all. But what I am challenging on the earlier part of the video is that actually it was not the Russian KGB who was necessarily behind it. That might be so, but behind the Russian KGB was very likely to be the Committee 300 with their Council for Foreign Relations, etc. Well, this is Catania Alvin. I'm going to keep it short. God bless, and once again, thank you everyone for your likes, sharing, and donations. It's we're in exciting times. So God bless. Catania Alvin signing out. Bye bye.